Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. The dust has settled after the budget and mortgage rates are going up. In fact, a number of lenders have already increased mortgage rates. We've got some that have paused that because they want to see what's happening with the Bank of England next week. So this video, I'm going to talk about who's increased their mortgage rates. Are more going to do it? Why have the mortgage rates gone up just because we've had a budget? And what might happen next week as well. So before we jump into this, as always, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We're on the way to 33,000 subscribers now, which is crazy. Thanks to everyone that subscribes. Am I here? Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. So I appreciate everybody that does that. So, Rachel Reeves' budget didn't go down too well, particularly with landlords who got absolutely smashed on the stamp duty side of things. A lot of people unhappy with the capital gains tax, especially farmers, and pensions being brought into that wasn't great either. And small businesses and entrepreneurs feel really like they've been hit hard by the massive increases in national insurance, which increases the cost of employing someone by around £600, and the increase in the minimum wage increases the cost by about £1,400. So each employee, it's going to cost a business around £2,000 more per year to employ them. That, what we're seeing so far, is probably going to reduce the amount of vacancies out there and might increase unemployment, which could hit house prices later this year. So what has happened now is we've had an uncertain time. Over the last few weeks, mortgage rates have been creeping up slowly, and that was due to the uncertainty of the budget. Well, the budget's happened now, so these are now reactions to what data they got and how they feel it went. And so the pound went down, so the markets didn't massively enjoy this. And the stock market wasn't particularly strong after the budget as well. And so one thing that changed was the SONIA swap rate. So this is the interbank SONIA swap. This is the interbank rate that big banks borrow. So HSBC and places like that borrow from bigger banks. And that went up after the budget, or it went up just before the budget. They kind of knew what's going to be included in here. And that means that lenders that we borrow from have had their cost increase, and now they're starting to increase to us. Now, what I feel is going to happen is that short term, so I feel between now and March, you're going to see a painful mortgage market. You're going to see some lenders that have dropped rates. There are some this week that have dropped rates, even after the budget, but you're going to see volatility, and I don't think you're going to see any big downward shifts. And then I think by the end of next year, I feel the economy won't be that strong. I personally think unemployment will go up due to the extra costs that small businesses have to face. I think that they'll recruit less. If somebody leaves, they maybe don't rehire them, and some of those will get rid of staff, which won't be great. That will mean the economy will go down, and that means the base rate, the Bank of England base rate, will drop. So I do feel by next year, I do feel the Goldman Sachs prediction, where they're saying a 2.75 base rate, we could get close to that, even though right now rates are going to go up. So who is putting rates up? Firstly is Virgin Money, which isn't great. Virgin Money have put their rates up by 0.15%. And the reason Virgin putting rates up is not great is when we do our weekly roundups of the best rates in the market, these guys have been competitive. Like every other week or so, they are one of the best rates in the market. So this means that the cheaper rates, the better deals, they have gone up. So Virgin Money, unfortunately, has gone up. Another one who's pretty competitive is Halifax. They have put their rates up as well. No note on how much yet. We'll get that data, but they've said we will be putting rates up today, which is November the 1st at the time of recording this. So that's not great. Another bank, Clydesdale Bank, have put rates up as well. Clydesdale, they are putting their rates up quite a bit as well, nearly 0.25% there as well. And one of the biggest lenders in the UK, TSB, is putting their rates up. I don't get this one. I think it's a pointless increase, 0.01%. Not really worth doing, but they've snuck it in there. Some of these lenders are putting the rates up now while there's so much bad publicity about the budget. The budget is the news at the moment. The stamp duty, the capital gains, the national insurance, all of this stuff is in the news cycle at the moment. So you can kind of sneak out some bad news if you're a lender. And then if the Bank of England, should the Federal Reserve, next week is the big thing, right? We've got the US election. And even though we're British here on this channel, it will impact our rates for sure. So I don't know which way it's going to go. My gut tells me Kamala Harris is going to win over Trump. I think the Republicans have got a lot of extra polls out there to look like they're likely to win, but I don't think that they are going to win. I know in the comments you'll go off on that one. I'm not being political. I'm not saying I like Trump or I like Kamala Harris. I'm just saying that's what I think will happen. And then maybe the Federal Reserve won't cut rates as quickly if she stays in, because it's just an easy handover and they can go a little slower with things. If Trump is in power, things will change quite a lot, quite rapidly. You could see some big cuts. He could pressure the Fed to push rates down. So I think the US election is the next thing to watch, and that will have an impact on the SONIA swap rate. I don't know who the markets want to win, but whichever way that goes, you could see a big shift down or you could see a big shift up. But that's the two big things. We've had the budget, that's done. The US election, once that's ticked off, that's good because we start to get to a point of certainty again, and we know what we're getting, and so the markets can adjust and rates will start going down over the year. Next week, we've got the Bank of England meeting. We've also got the Federal Reserve meeting. Hopefully the Fed cut 0.5%, and then the Bank of England might need to cut similar, because normally our rates match. Remember, the Federal Reserve did cut 0.5% when we only cut 0.25% on our first cut. So really interesting to see what happens. In fact, let me know in the comments, what do you think the Bank of England are going to do next week? And what do you think the Federal Reserve are going to do next week? What cuts, holds? I think it's very unlikely that you'd get any increases with either of those. What do you think will happen next week? Do comment below, and maybe if you can keep it nice and polite and we're not going to have an argument about it, who do you think is going to win the US election? Do comment that below as well. Do smash like. Let's get some more views on the channel, and let's get some more subscribers as well. But yeah, not great, not huge increases, and maybe they'll get reversed next week if we get a good election and we get some rate cuts by central banks. Anyway, that's it from me. Do check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.